I want to talk about the cross art promotion. Make sure you guys smash the link crap outside of that, subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more content. So cross art promotion got dropped last night into this morning. And I wanted to talk a little bit more about this because this is a kind of an interesting thing to see where we're taking cards and we're combining them together to make basically extended arts for the cards. And probably one of the most famous ones we got off of the bat here was Dark Magician Girl and Dark Magician Knight. These are absolutely sick as arts. Now, the Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight, is in fact send the top card of your deck, choose a face-up card on your opponent's field, and destroy it. It is a Dark Magician plus a Dragon monster. And then Dark Magician Knight is actually going to be a reprint. So they're actually, in terms of your new content, we're getting new arts actually showcasing the cards. Like, this is actually sick. This is the kind of stuff that I wanted to see. Now, there's also even more new cards being attached to these. The first one is the Pitch Dark Eradicator Sorcerer. So it's a 2100, 1700. You pay 800 life points, special summon this card from your hand in face-up defense position. While in the graveyard, it becomes Dark Magician, which is actually really, really cool. And if you've activated a normal spell card this turn, inflict 500 damage to your opponent, which is fine. And then we have Amulet Dragon himself. Amulet Dragon is a level 8 Dark Dragon Fusion monster with 2900 attack and 2500 defense. It's a Dark Magician plus a Dragon monster. During a main phase, this card was fusion summoned. Choose any number of spell cards in your graveyard. While this card remains face up on the field, it gains 100 attack times the number of chosen cards, and then shuffle the chosen cards into the owner's deck. This actually resets your spell count usage, which is actually pretty interesting in this format. Now, we have probably the most interesting duo of cards here. We have a pair of spell cards for Timaeus. So the first one is the Allied Dark Magicians. It's a normal spell card. During a turn that you have not activated the Allied Dark Magicians, if there is a face-up dragon monster on the field, you can choose a Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl in your hand or graveyard, special summon it to your field face-up, and a monster special summoned by this effect gains 500 attack until the end of the turn. Sure. And then we have the United Front with Timaeus. So during a turn this card you've not activated the United Front of Timaeus, fusion summon a dragon monster that specifically either mentions the Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl as material by shuffling 2 dark monsters from your graveyard into the deck as material, except for fusion monsters. It stinks that there is a limitation on what this can do, but honestly, I think this art is sick, man. The fact that Konami has managed to combine into some of the sickest spell cards here is really, really cool. And also, to the people that like Dark Magician and absolutely have been waiting for this support, like this is really cool. Now there's even more that we got with this. The Travel the Sea with Neuron and the linker. So they actually showed us that we can make more pairs of these combination cards. And obviously seeing some of these ritual cards kind of getting a spotlight, I think is really, really cool. So this is the Wako Gozen Roletta. It's a level 8 Earth Cyberse ritual monster. Yes, Cyberse has found its way into Rush Duel. 23-2000. During your main phase, this card was ritual summoned. Send a card from your hand to the graveyard. Choose one card on your opponent's field and destroy it. Then if there are 3 or more different types of monsters in your graveyard, this card gains 600 attack until the end of the turn. And then for the rest of this turn, you cannot attack with monsters except for Cyberse monsters, and you cannot activate the effect of Wako Gozen Roletta again for, the rest of the turn, which is really, really cool. And then we have Waso Gozen Linker. This is a level 8 Earth Cyberse, 2600 attack and 2000 defense, and its requirements are none. It's a continuous effect. This card gains 100 attack times the number of different types of monsters in your graveyard, and there are 3 or more monsters of different types in your graveyard. This card cannot be destroyed by card effects, so we actually get some protection off of this. Now, we have some different dimension linker stuff here. Now, I do want to say here, the other level 8 here was a previous prize card within Rush Duel. They're actually kind of expanding on the lore of these prize cards, which I will say is a really, really cool thing. I do like that we do see like the original prize card aspect in this game, but they needed to do what the TCG couldn't do, which is extend out on we built the Anotherverse cards. Why were we not expanding on that archetype? If we were making, here's another verse card. Make an archetype around it to give those cards out. And that's just something that, you know, we just didn't get. But for our Dimension Roulette here, it's a level 8 light Cyberse, 2200 attack, 2000 defense. You can send one of the card from your hand to the graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand in face-up defense position. I do notice a lot of Duel Link stuff loves to special summon in defense mode, which is, it's not too bad. Send the top card of your deck to the graveyard, choose one face-up monster on the field, change its battle position, and there are 3 or more different types of monsters in your graveyard for the rest of this turn. This card's attacks become piercing damage. That's really, really cool. And then, of course, we have a couple of other interesting little support cards down here. So we're going even further with the Dimension Linker stuff, which, once again, as I said, we're making archetypes for these cards, people. This is what we needed to see. So, Dimension Opera. So send a card from your hand to the graveyard, draw a card, and if there are 3 or more different types of monsters in your graveyard, then you can choose one level 8 light Cyberse effect monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. For the rest of this turn, you cannot attack with monsters except for level 8 Cyberse monsters. I mean, the fact that this card says draw 1 and then get a body back is actually not too terrible. I love floatability. That's actually pretty cool. And then we have Dimension Channel. So we get the ability to shuffle 2 monsters from your graveyard into the deck. Increase this card's level by 4 until the end of the turn. If you shuffled an Earth Cyberse ritual monster for this effect's requirements, you can choose one spell or trap card on your opponent's field and destroy it. Okay, so we get a free pop of the back row. I'm not actually going to hate on that. And then, ooh, we got even more here. This is the Nahime, the Dimensional Sworn Ally. Level 4, 700 attack, 500 defense. Reveal a Cyberse in your hand to your opponent. Choose a Dimensional Pair Link L or a Dimensional Pair Link R in your graveyard and set it to your spell and trap card zone. For the rest of this turn, you cannot activate the effect of Nahime, the Dimensional Sworn Ally. Okay, so this pulls back. Are these our spell cards? Okay. These are going to be, I assume, our ritual spells in order to use the 2 things. So, our Dimensional Pair Link L. Ritual summon a Wasso Gozen Linker by sending face-up monsters from your field whose total levels are 8 or more to the graveyard. As material, you cannot use monsters more than that are necessary. Then you can choose one card from your hand, send it to the graveyard. If you send a card from the hand to the graveyard, choose a Dimensional Linker Roulette in your graveyard and special summon it to your field in face-up defense mode. Okay. And then Dimensional Link R, we ritual summon Roulette by sending face up, and then we can choose a card from your hand, send it to the graveyard, and if you sent from the hand, we can choose a Dimensional Linker in your graveyard and special summon it face up attack mode. Okay, that's actually pretty good. All right, Dimensional Jump. Wow, they are really pushing this archetype, man, in a lot more positive ways than, you know, I would expect. So Dimensional Jump, normal spell card, send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard, and you can choose a level 8 light Cyberse effect monster, or a level 4 with 500 defense among them, and add it to your hand, and for the rest of this turn, you cannot attack monsters except for Cyberse. Okay, Cyberse is definitely getting their hang time here. Fudo Isen. So this is a trap card. When your opponent normal or special summons a monster, you can shuffle 1 Cyberse and 1 non-Cyberse monster from your graveyard into the deck. Okay, choose a face-up level 8 or lower monster in your opponent's field, change it to face-down defense position, and if there's a face-up Earth Cyberse ritual monster on your field, then you can destroy the chosen monster. So you get a free, pop off of this, but that's kind of... These ritual archetypes in this format, they leave a little bit to be desired. And I mean, like, not in, like, the worst possible sense of the word, but for what we're working with right now, I feel like there needs to be like a little bit more scaling on the power-up side of things, kind of make things a little bit better for this. But the art is glorious. In terms of what we're doing here with the extended arts and things, this is the kind of stuff that I bring it up for like the 35th of Yu-Gi-Oh! But the fact that Rush Duel is already going down this extended art craze of branching these cards out and actually trying to add more into the flavor of things is a good step in the right direction. I like that, you know, we'd already seen like triple cards, but like there's so much more that you can do with these. Now, obviously, I mean, you gotta remember, these are their own individual cards. I've already seen people going, well, you know, do I get both at the same time? No, these are just, if you get them together, they form a same picture style of thing. And, you know, that's fine. This is what modern collectability needs to be about. And honestly, I think this is actually very positive for this sort of stuff. So what do you guys think? You know, take a second to, you know, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. I know to the Dark Magician collectors, you guys are going to be very, very happy to see this stuff. And honestly, you know, I'm already loving what we've got going on. So you guys have a good rest of your day and absolutely stay safe out there. All right. patrons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.